Welcome to the first episode of the YouPlay project podcast. I'm Indra from Lithuania, representing a non-governmental organization called Global Citizens Academy. In today's episode, we will discuss with our guests the role of young people in contributing to sustainable development and introduce you to a game that helps youth to do so. This podcast is a part of the international project Youth Playful Engagement that is supported by the European Union Erasmus Plus program. Today we live in a world where we are all connected, socially, politically, economically, and environmentally. Being a part of this closely interconnected community brings us a lot of benefits. It contributes to widening our horizons, increases possibilities to consume goods produced in different parts of the world, ensures the access to knowledge and products of science and technology, helps at developing people's understanding of diversity in the societies, as well as provides more opportunities for personal and social development. At the same time, it causes many social, economic, and environmental challenges, like increasing poverty, disparities between privileged and non-privileged people, human rights violations, insecurity, climate change, ecological imbalance, pollution, exhaustion of natural resources, and many more. To tackle the issues that society is facing today, world leaders came up with an agreement that will help foster the sustainable development of our planet. In September 2015, the General Assembly of the United Nations adopted the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, also known as Sustainable Development Goals. This agenda is applicable in every country and aims to mobilize efforts to end all forms of poverty, fight inequalities, and tackle climate change while ensuring that no one is left behind.
So it is a very, very complex agenda for which not only governments or officers working in the political field are responsible, but it is also the responsibility of us as the citizens to contribute and achieve the goals that are described in this agenda. The agenda itself has 17 goals, very complex, and it covers also almost all the sectors and all the fields of our daily lives, starting from poverty, health, education, equality, dealing with natural resources, and so on.
Why do you think it's necessary for youth to be aware of these 17 goals?
With this agenda, Agenda 2030, we seek for sustainable development on a global level. Sustainable development as a term means that we need to make sure that we fulfill our own needs as they are today without compromising of the needs for the future generations. So this is why it is important for young people also to involve in the implementation of the SDGs, be aware and conscious of the targets of the Sustainable Development Goals, and at the same time contribute to their own future.
Yeah. So how is this topic approached in the game that you're making?
It started from an initial idea of the game, and of course it started with the need that people, especially young people, need to be aware of what SDGs are, and they are able to connect as well their own lives with the targets and the objectives of the Sustainable Development Goals agenda. So this was the reason why we decided that we would like to create something that is attractive, that is youth-friendly, and that allows young people to understand sustainable development goals in a playful and attractive way.
Okay, and what do you think are the most important aspects of the games when it comes to involving the SDGs? Or,
to my opinion, the most important thing is the fact that we tried to balance different dimensions of the Sustainable Development Goals in the game, which means that as a concept, as a philosophy, sustainable development is the development that tries to balance economic needs of the people and of the countries with social justice, with equality of people in the society, as well as considering also the things how to protect the environment. So this should be a sort of the balance, and this is, I think, very important aspect that we also tried to balance in our game and tried to consider all three dimensions of sustainable development while developing it.
What do we need to consider while educating young people about sustainable development? We asked Milisav Milinkovic from Serbia NGO Juventa to share his thoughts.
Today, it's a very concerning topic. I think everywhere it's very important that young people, through playing the game on a consciousness level, actually trying to connect and link their a process of the learning, but also with the issues, and also how sustainability today in the modern the time it is. Which factors we should take into consideration, what kind of steps, how to change some maybe our human behaviors and actions towards not just the nature, but also towards to ourselves, how to reduce using the plastics, how to respond to some natural disaster that's happening because we are somehow influenced that is happening by our actually let's say bad habits and huge consumption of everything, and from that aspect, I can say that game actually provoke critical thinking, stimulate collaboration, communication, but on the other hand also trying to creative work, to creative some kind of efforts that dedicated some youth workers, trainers from different countries and organizations try to create it for them.
Why is it important to look for different learning approaches while working with young people? And what can YouPlay game offer to them? We invited Davide Cadadu from TDM 2000 International, that is based in Italy, to share some of his thoughts.
Sometimes, since we notice through the context analysis that it's very hard to involve youngsters in this kind of processes, not just because they think that their voices are not heard, but also because sometimes they see that things very complex or very far away from their understanding. This is a way to make them catch some basic concepts through something fun, basically. And I think it's a very useful way to make them involved, catching their attention through fun activities.
And which aspects do you think are the most important in the game at this moment?
Well, I need to think about this with you.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I think that some of the most relevant dynamics of the game that I can mention is the fact that through the game you will understand that you have different possibilities how to play the game. You have the chance to cooperate with the other players, but you have also the chance to be individualistic and focus more on your own needs and your own ambitions. So through the game you should understand that being selfish will not lead you anywhere and you will lose the game. But instead, being cooperative, you will have the possibility to achieve good results. And it's one of the main concepts we want to pass through the project itself. And it's also a concept that we think it's relevant in real life. Being together and cooperating, you will achieve more impactful results instead of working alone and focusing just on your own needs.
And how is the game including the SDGs? How does it work?
During the game, there will be some events happening, and each event will be related to one SDG. So basically, the participants and the youngsters playing the game will have the chance to connect through the cards that we will provide included in the game to the events happening to real SDG. There will be some important facts related also to each of them. Like there will be an event happening, and then also important facts with information related to SDG, like no poverty or education and whatever included in the 17 SDGs. And also, if I can add about this, since it's an educational game, it's not just about educational itself, but the game is supposed to be played with the preparation before, like providing information about what are the SDGs and why are they important and what are the activities that the different countries are planning and implementing to achieve them. And also through the debriefing after playing the game, like they will find out the things that probably they learned even without knowing they were learning things. So the debriefing part will be one of the most relevant phase of the educational activity, not just playing the game, but it will be part of a session.
Thank you for listening. If you would like to know more about our project and its results, feel free to visit our website youthdialogue.eu/YouPlay.